forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
fun. It will free your mind. Don't sit down, showing no interest. It is wrong, wasting time like this. You need some fun in your life, I'll say. Well, it's lovely today, we could go fishing, but something is telling me we should go and party. Only a couple of blocks away, I hear music, my friend, my music that we could party. Everything is alright. This party going all night. Everybody having fun. This party going on and on and on. Oh, it's lovely today, we could go fishing, but something is telling me we should go and party. Yeah. Only a couple of blocks away, I hear music, my friend, my music that we could party. Everybody go party. 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 How much time we've got to live this life? No, 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 so what? Try, my friend, to enjoy your day. Let's do something, maybe go somewhere. Time is ticking, here and everywhere. Be more concerned about time today. Well, it's lovely today, we could go fishing, but something is telling me we should go and party. Only a couple of blocks away, I hear music, my friend, my music that we could party. Everything is alright. This party going all night. Everybody having fun. This party going on and on and on. Oh, it's lovely today, we could go fishing, but something is telling me we should go and party. Yeah. Only a couple blocks away, I hear music, my friend, my music.
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Well, as the song says, it's lovely today. If you haven't had the opportunity to smell the roses, says, yes, come on, get up off your bed. Raise up, rise up. Open those windows, let those doors open. All right, keep the burglar proofing on, but open the doors anyhow. Let some morning breeze come inside here. Move those blinds. Let the sun shine in. It's a brand new day. Yeah, and we are here with you.
This beautiful day.
Everybody good. Thursday morning to you. Yes, it is a Thursday morning. We're happy to be in this space with you. So let me say good morning to Trinidad and Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean. Good day. Friends and family streaming all around the globe. Thank you so much for being with us here on New Era TT Radio. It is NETT Radio. We are the heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. Yeah. Excellence. Don't forget to put that word in between there. As always, I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day, and everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in this space with you. It's a Thursday, yeah, the gateway to the weekend. It is here. And it is a throwback Thursday. So everybody, welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Get up,
It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Yeah, whatever you're drinking, it's time for that this morning. Yeah, whatever you are drinking, time for that this morning. Welcome everybody to your Get Up and Go. Welcome to the breakfast show. I'm your story Sir Charles, as I said earlier, and thanks for being here. So happy to be in your company. And let me say good morning to my co-host Richard, who will join us in a bit, and Wendell, who is here very early as always. Stephen, good morning.
Morning, Davis. Good morning, Raghu Singh. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's a beautiful Thursday morning in Trinidad and Tobago. The weather looks fine, but I guess it's going to change at some point in time. So be mindful of it, people. But do have an absolutely wonderful and productive day. All right, today is August 13th, 2026. I just have a couple birthday greetings. That's Che Barkley. Happy birthday, Che. Petal Harrigan. Stacy Castillo. I think she's from Arima. And Jesse James. All right, those are the birthdays I have today.
Jesse James?
Yeah, I don't know who is Jesse James. I was telling you, I generally... Jesse James is from Port of Spain.
All right. Okay.
I don't know but he's friends with family members, so maybe that's how he became a friend of mine on Facebook. Because I can't say that I know him personally, but he's friends with a lot of my family members. So I guess he's from St. James.
Yeah.
I see all these St. James people wishing him happy birthday too. So.
when you have certain names, it's certain things, first names as just certain first names as follow certain last names and that sort of thing. So yeah.
But I have condolences to two people who I know one was ailing, but two people who I know from St. James also, from the alley, what we call the alley, Jefferson Street in St. James. I just saw it on Facebook on an ex-friend page. I didn't even know they passed. They passed away. Both passed away within a day. One on the 5th of August. That's Floyd Pierre. He passed on the 5th of August. That's just over a week ago. And then Colin Benjamin passed on the 6th of August. They both lived on Jefferson Street in St. James. I know Colin had some issues for the last few years, mental issues, I would say. And Floyd, I know he worked for years at the Port of Spain Corporation and retired, and I think he got prostate cancer. But yeah, they both passed a week ago, and I didn't even know. They were literally neighbors in the alley in St. James. I'm now seeing it because their funerals are coming up. So I guess that's why the person posted it. You know what I mean? But Floyd was a renowned pan man too. He used to play pan. You know what I mean? They both actually might have played with TNT Power Stars. They probably both would have played because TNT Power Stars was literally right at that corner, if people remember. Right at the corner of Jefferson Street and the Western Main Road in St. James. But they both passed away. Their funerals are coming up. Floyd is...
That is really
Floyd is both of them today? Both funerals today?
Yeah, well, I guess the most likely they would do the both of them today. They would hardly probably separate them this week and next week and that sort of thing. But it's just I'm always surprised when I hear things like that, one person goes today in the family and the other person goes either the same day. I've known people where that has happened,
Yeah,
as we're
yeah.
just working on each other. Wow.
I
And
have a
it's,
partner. I told you all this story already. His mother passed away. He lived in England for years and years and years, and didn't hardly ever came back. And he passed away. His mom passed away, and he came down from England for the funeral. And while he is on the plane going back home, his father died.
wow.
That was crazy.
He literally had a turn back in midair.
Yeah, yeah. As he learned, he basically had to just come all the way back. And his mother and father both together for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His father died while he on the plane.
And look how mind-boggling that will be, because I suppose if he had any idea that my father ain't looking good and he may probably pass, he probably might have delayed his trip a little week or something.
Yeah, he would have stayed. He would have stayed,
So why don't you leave right after, and then boom, time you reach home, your daddy died.
Yeah. I guess those stories are replicated, in some place, some families. I mean, just the other day, you remember when the little child, well, that might have been a different case when the child unfortunately died and the grandmother died right after, took her life right after, It's a tough. Dealing with death is tough, but they say dealing with separation is worse. People say dealing with a divorce or separation in a relationship. They say sometimes that hurt is worse than death. Because death, there is a finality to it. The person is gone. But in these other cases, the person is still around. You know what I mean? So they say sometimes it's harder to deal with that. But anyway, also condolences to...
Yes, it will tell us.
Yeah, well, I guess. I get over things quick. Kadeen James. Kadeen James is someone who I also knew very well. She also had some health issues for years, because I always used to be part of assisting her with the fundraisers and things like that. And as a matter of fact, at one point in time, she worked with me. She helped with my children when they were small. And in terms of cooking, she was an excellent cook. You know what I mean? And she passed away also too recently. So to the relatives of Kadeen James, I think last place she lived is up at La Hoquita, because she used to take care of her mom also, but she did pass, and condolences also to her family. I know she has a son who is in the TTPS. That much I know. He was like a godson to me, but she also passed. So quite a few people who I know recently passed away.
Yeah. And as you're on that, let me say good morning to my good friend Kathy John out there in Morocco, St. Joseph. And Kathy was also sending me, some sad news of a young lady by the name of Susie. Susie was one of those individuals what you might like Cyclops and a midget. Well known and loved in the Maracas, St. Joseph area and the valley there, and she passed away. It was either early on this week or last week. I was getting that message. So all those who would have known Susie, because Susie is a kind of live wire, you couldn't miss Susie. You couldn't miss Susie. So I want to send out condolences to her family also.
And a topic that we're going to deal with today, and we're going to poll it actually, is the killings that have been taking place, murders of people from the LGBTQIA community. We now have had 2 in a very short space of time, and I know of a couple others too that maybe people didn't link it to the community. You know what I mean? So the people are asking questions. Are they under attack? And Kaiso, warns that the community is very fragile. The murders of 2 men remembered for their work, and they've been activists for the community, within weeks of each other, have heightened concerns over the safety of community members. Kwesi Dion Gill of Beaton Gardens was found murdered along the roadway at Textile Hill, Lady Young Road, Belmont on Saturday, 8 August. He was reported missing hours earlier, right? And the other person, of course, is, what's his name? Kobe Daniel Thomas. 2 members of the community who were murdered recently in very mysterious circumstances. No explanation. So, of course, the community is concerned that they are targets. So we will poll that today if you believe that they are. You know what I mean? But it's unfortunate when people do these hate crimes. What can be considered hate? Well, they will be considered hate crimes if they were killed because of the community that they belong to. You know what I mean? And it's very unfortunate that things like that are happening in this day and age, especially in Trinidad and Tobago. It will be very unfortunate if that is the case. So we will discuss a bit about it today, and please spare us any homophobic comments, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't want it. We don't need it. Not this program.
For real.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our good news, and we will be back. People, stay with us. This is the Breakfast Show. Good news straight ahead.
Where was that, Sir Charles?
I think that's somewhere in the US. They had a little tour that the band went on. I think it's a combination of QRC and St. Francois. They have their steel orchestra. So I think they either were or still out in some parts of the US. I've seen a number of videos with them
Mhm.
in different spaces, some kind of pop up shows too, they were like on a promenade kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those buildings have areas where they just have like a downstairs area and they just I've seen a lot. They've been outside there, but I don't know exactly where. Somebody sent the video to me. I can't remember.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
just love to see
Because the
our
people,
young
the people
people.
who, yeah, the people who dancing in the background certainly ain't dancing like Trinidadians.
No,
You
no,
could tell. You could
it's
tell
not
this might be
fair.
the first time some of them here in Pan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
what is nice is to see that they can, appreciate the music, love the music. If himself, they have not, they're not from here, but they just, gravitate
yeah.
towards it, and I find that to be so nice. It's building that bridge.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I mean, that experience is what I would have enjoyed too in Japan with Manish. Manish would do things like that very often. You know what I mean? But it's somebody said QRC Providence Girls. That's what it is.
Providence.
Yeah,
That is
thanks, Rena.
Providence.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Rena.
right now,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
QRC
QRC Providence Girls. All right.
Yeah. But
Beautiful.
I just love the energy. Pana, when you see people playing pana, especially outdoor in areas like that, there's a kind of energy that they play with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
as if the spirit of the pan gets inside of them, and they're just moving with that spirit.
Yeah. And it's in large measure, as I said, young people who are playing pan now. So it's always a beautiful sight. It's always a beautiful sight. Nice. Good news.
So, good news for you guys this morning, especially
All
coming
right.
out of our work and they just a couple of days. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's greet
So
the folks in the
people.
chat. Richard is not here yet, so maybe he'll jump in.
He's looking around. He's just looking.
He's looking. I remember somebody tell me that one morning. They're always looking. Eunice Dublin came in at midnight. Morning, Eunice. John Cato also came in just after that at 12:03. He is looking, yes. Valerie Mendoza at 12:09. Margaret Thomas, Felix Kazo, Odell Guy, Pamela O'Connor, Robert Allen is also in. Suzanne Jessup from Suzette, Corinne, Mrs. Gemma, Maria S, Maria H, and she is also reminding people of the boat cruise again. All right, Trinman, have a thirsty Thursday. Stay hydrated. Throw in a beer every now and then. Yeah, of course, good advice, Trinman.
You see what he's trying to do?
A beer, yeah. You have non-alcoholic beer too, Plenty. I don't know how people drink it, but they drink it.
I sure Trinman ain't drinking no non-alcoholic beer.
Marcia Rock says, good morning, gentlemen. Manuela Peters, Empress Reyes Lal, Shirma Paul, Kenny in Harlem, Diane Payne, Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona, 2:49. Ingrid, you drop off an hour. Is that what happened? 2:49. Oh, yeah, what happened there? 6 o'clock is 3 o'clock. Okay, right. Yeah, you're correct. C'est super. This is the day that the Lord has made. Prabha Ramdial, Marlon Motley out there in North Valsain. Suzanne is... Okay, she's giving another greeting. Nicola Nichols, Debbie Modest, Hillben, Hillary Benjamin. I'll call you after the show on Messenger. Deborah Noel Surratt. Good morning, guys. Garvin Frank from Powder Magazine. Apollonus, Boy Bidesi from Debe. Anthony Tinto from Toronto, who is in Trinidad. He came in this morning. Welcome to Trinidad. Well, last week you were here, Tinto. It's been a while, but I know you're here also too because you lost a brother recently. So welcome to Trinidad. We will definitely meet up in the next couple of days. Kerwin Duke, Victor Phillips says good morning. He will be 81 on Saturday. Okay, no medication yet. I must give God thanks. Oh, yes, indeed. We'll wish you happy birthday tomorrow, Victor. Send us a reminder again, right? Melissa from Champlain, Ozzy Molino, Empress Rez is singing and dancing. Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale. Gerald Hawaii is also saying good morning. Anne Noel, Charles, we missed you, says Empress. Sankofa says divine greetings. Mul Makomi, Alistair Hart from sunny San Fernando. Brent Hackshaw, Stephanie Santana, Estelita Sampson from Vista Bella. She said, Wendell, that happened to me, both of them always together. Is it that your parents passed away right after one another? Philomena Ali, morning Philomena. Arlene Lewis, Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach, Diane Hamill, Sadia Andrews, CJ from New York. Suzanne is saying, see why she loves NETT Radio, keeping Trinidad culture alive. CJ is dancing on her way to work. Rena Jennings, right? So she said that's QRC Providence Girls, and yes, and music moves you just as soca music does. Joyce Phillip, top of the morning. Anthony Miguel. Rena is saying morning to the Powder Puff Girls. Bernadette Yates, CJ said, I forgot my greetings. Good morning, sending love and positive vibes. That's because you're dancing and laughing, I'm sure. Ava Smith, bless rising. Mrs. R says good morning. Joyce Phillip says happy birthday to her dear friend Claudia from Champlain. And those are the greetings for the morning on the chat.
Okay.
And good morning, guys, and good morning to all our listeners and viewers in whatever time zone. And a special good morning to those in Ethiopia, since Wendell forgot you all yesterday.
and evening to those in Japan.
Wendell, they forgot Ethiopia.
I saving my greetings for Ethiopia for personal greetings. I'm saving all of it for personal.
Did you come back? Did you come back? Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm the come back here, You could only keep me down for so long,
Oh my word. Anyhow, let me say good morning to Archbishop Ashton Clark, who came in first on the chat this morning. Also to Frank out there in Ruka, Carol and Kelly. Good day to you guys and everybody coming out of Carenage. Miss St. Augustine, have a fantastic day. Also, Miss Ingrid is also here. Hi, Ingrid. Kent in Laventel. Sankofa, good day to you. Zena and the Powder Puff ladies, good morning. Rena Budo Jennings, have a fantastic day. Mr. Billy, good day to you. CJ's up very early here on the chat also. And also good morning to Debbie out there in Mova. So those are all the people I have on the chat, on the WhatsApp this morning. Thank you very much for being here. And of course, thanks to the people also on Kyle. Did you guys get to see the solar eclipse yesterday?
No, but I saw videos of it. I think I sent a video to say that we should show it. I don't know if you downloaded it.
Yes. That is why I sent him a plate one time.
Right? That's where I saw it.
Yeah, go.
There was another good one too from Mallorca in Spain too. Yeah, but that's it. If you didn't see it yesterday, you'll see it in the next It's 45 years, Richard?
No, I think they're saying all 4 things. Remember, it's 4 things that were happening yesterday. And early this morning. Was early this morning the meteor shower? I think it was, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that part was earlier this morning. This morning.
I think they said the alignment of all of those things is not for decades, I think. That's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for all who saw it, thank God. These things happen, but I don't know how much of it we in Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean see. And then yesterday was just kind of cloudy.
Yeah.
But not sorry, but I know other people in other parts of the world. You see how they come out and they make lime. They flock to certain places and they're having a good time. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, but we're going to that commercial break. When we come back, we'll see what's trending in the newspaper this morning. So stay with us. This is your breakfast show.
All aboard!
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio. NETT Radio Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August. Boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs: Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them who's
bird
a big
tickets
dancer.
are just $200. After $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Fats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Small, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the sea.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars, and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
All right, I guess we could go straight into the newspapers this morning. Morning Carl, Hercules, and Red Fire. Weather drives chicken shortage. Hot sun and heavy rains causing a chicken shortage. Don't we always have hot sun and heavy rain?
That kind of worry me there because those are two things that we always have. So I know
That's synonymous with Trinidad and Tobago, not so?
Yeah. So what does the chicken want now?
I don't know what the chicken want. Richard, what the chicken want?
what the chicken need?
Huh? What the chicken need?
Maybe the sun too hot for them to have young ones. I don't know. And when they get in rain, it plays too damp.
Anyway.
That's frustrating.
Well, I read the story. Marcel, that's Kareem Marcel, not one red cent of funding. I don't know what that story is about. Trident stand tall, that's cricket. And Levi scores on Panathinaikos' debut. That's football. And in other news, 4 years later, Mosquito Creek crack repaired. That's a nice kind of tongue twister. Calls for justice after murder of LGBTQIA activists. Couple in backseat robbed on the foreshore. People are still going back up on that foreshore, man.
Oh gosh, boy. I don't know. I mean, I read the story and I say, oh God, look how much places have now. It have plenty place you can drive in.
Yeah, and places where you can't even see a car or get to a car.
Come now, man. Let's stop that now, man.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
Only getting the police unnecessary work.
Yeah. And then the foreshore just be so dark. I mean, anybody passing on that Mokrapu foreshore would say, why are you going there? Come on, you can't be so thirsty. Cop robbed of handcuffs after going to party. That's another trending story. And TNT still battling the giant African snail, and they are getting bigger. And you see with this rain, they're breeding like snails. Oof. Plenty. There are plenty of them. You know, so, but we are still battling it. That's one thing they haven't found some purpose for. They're trying to find purpose for Sargassum seaweed, but although I don't see that happening either. But those are all trending stories in today's Express. All right?
All right, so I will go to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. And in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the main headline, chicken shortage, prices soars, local production cut by 20% due to searing heat. But minister says situation will normalize in a few weeks. Well, that means everything will go up that's related to chicken.
Well, it's gone up already.
Yeah, chicken and eggs.
Apparently, well, that's what it said. You just read that there. Chicken prices soar. Huh?
Yeah. But I don't know. When I'm saying like things like fast food and stuff, I don't know if they've gone up as yet. That's what I mean.
I don't know.
That's what I mean.
I attempted to go and buy a Royal Castle.
Is it all chicken farmers or, is it just some? I don't know. Suppliers struggling due to poultry shortfall. 2 cops detained over missing municipal police guns in Port of Spain. Man wanted for cops' murder dies in Matura shootout. Police no evidence that LGBTQ community being targeted. Business, Angostura profit, revenue fall in first half. Energy Chamber analyst welcome BP's mannequin move. Digitization alone is not transformation, says Flow executive. IBIS Steel will boost economy, business leaders say. Court rules BIR must accept late tax return. Floating house anchors at Storby ahead of rate race. And in sports, TNT and Barbados remain unbeaten in Rising Stars under 19 Women's Championship. Misread and outsmarted how West Indies handed Pakistan victory. SSFL still open to league format changes, so says President Gonzalez. Jamaica blanks TNT in Caribaco team journey, and THA considering legal options over SSFL Premiership omission. So that's it for the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning in terms of sports.
When you hear that? When they heard that cricket story that Richard just read, that sound familiar?
Yeah, I watch it. West Indies had a series to win and just throw the last match at the Queen's Park Oval and capitulated and lost. Disgusting cricket.
I just want to reference the digitization part of it. I think Dominic Smith, he's the Minister of AI and something.
Public admin and AI.
Right. So which is on the way the digital transformation will. And I see he got an award from Canto concerning the digitization processes in Trinidad or progressing of it, even though we are yet to see it tangibly as citizens. You're seeing it in some places in pockets. So congrats to him. But you know why Trinidad pats itself on the back? the rest of the Caribbean is moving forward. I think Ghana is about to launch its digital EID, so which is your ID, but it's on your phone, like your national ID, but it's on your phone. Ghana is about to launch that, I believe, and any people in Ghana who know of it can probably indicate in the stream. We already know that e-passports, or not e-passports, but the current types of passports in terms of the link between Barbados and Ghana and being able to move smoothly through gates by just scanning your passport and stuff like that, which incidentally a Trinidad and Tobago company actually outfitted the Ghanese airport with that technology. And so you have lots of things happening in the Caribbean. The issue of digital, being able to order things online and stuff. We may think that Trinidad is ahead. Trinidad is not. In fact, we lag behind in terms of the rest of the Caribbean in some of the applications of digital technology. And, you know, I am a competitive soul, so it grinds me. when we say we spend so much money, and I know under the last minister Hasselbacher, it was, yes, we are building the groundwork, We heard that for roughly 5 years. And nothing has tangibly changed beyond maybe, I don't want to be totally unfair. There are pockets where, you know, you could renew your driver's permit online, you know, except if you're over 60, because you have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it.
You have to go in.
Mm-hmm. So you have to go in because you don't have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Which of course is silly and stupid. And the vulnerable group, the over 60s plus, who you would want to make more comfortable are the ones who have to actually go in. It's how topsy-turvy Trinidad is.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had spoken, the several times you've spoken to the commissioner of licensing, Mr. Clark. I had raised with him the issue of modernizing Trinidad and Tobago's laws concerning people over 65 or plus, and their ability to have to be only having limited times and how much it is modernized in other parts of the world. And they say, yes, we've gotten to it, and they have never gotten to it, of course, because you know that's Trinidad we talk. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, so that whole thing with Dominic Smith, even though congrats to you, but I think citizens need to see much more relief in terms of being able to access online services at a much faster rate than other countries seem to be achieving it.
But they also need to hear from the minister, especially a young man who seems, who has gotten a ministry that, of course, we would have had this passion for, and certainly you. He has not made himself available to the media at all. I've tried him on a couple.
But that's kind of a template for most of the ministers, quite frankly.
Yeah, but you think somebody like that, I mean, there's nothing bad you could say about you. What? There's not, no, you can't get political peacock in a kind of way. You in a ministry that you should be happy to converse with the public.
Yeah, and you can't stay in your lane. It's easy in that ministry to stay in his lane.
But obviously most of these ministers are media shy, and you know, but the whole issue of a simple transformative thing of making sure that your driver's permit, once it's on your phone, is sufficient. Mm-hmm. That you don't have to have a physical ID, the physical driver's permit on you, that it's on your phone, and they should be able to scan the barcode or if whatever they want to scan on the phone, or make it downloadable. And so if you want it to be an official download rather than you just snapping and scanning it. Simple things like that.
Especially, Richard, in light of the fact that they're looking to make that a law that you should always have ID on you. Or that these police posts now might be engaged in stop and search and stop and check documents exercise.
But that's the point, when just to make things easier for citizens. Mm-hmm. Like the whole issue of passports, I'm surprised that the state hasn't got, you know, if this was the United States, you know, the state would have been sued already for the issue of the passport and how long you have to wait. Because somebody would have filed a lawsuit already assuming that the US has a freedom of movement constitutional protection. I'm not sure that they do. But you would say you are now retarding my right to freedom of movement because of your administrative inefficiencies. Because let's be clear, the Ministry of National Security and whoever is now a Ministry of Homeland Security and Ministry of Defense, but Ministry of Homeland Security, you're the one responsible for the long, inordinate delays that people have to take to get their passport, sometimes 3 months. 4 months waiting to get a passport. That is ridiculous. And I'm seeing Ghana saying you can get your passport in what? 3 days, 5 days? Come on.
Yeah.
Seriously? And you have no appointments because you're running out of books, allegedly. So appointments are now, even if your passport is running out in December this year, you have no appointment until next year? Seriously, Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah. I dodged that bullet.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Get moving, people. Get moving. All right, people, we're getting into our Did You Know segment, and then we'll come back, open the lines, take your calls, and get ready for the morning poll also, right? So stay with us.
For me, I never fight for the love. The love come to me. I don't want to fight for the love.
You don't think love is worth fighting for?
Somebody they fight. Like some guy, like two guys fight for one girl. I know. I say, if you want it, you can have it. I don't need that. If people love me, they come to me.
What if you already love someone, and then someone else is trying to take the person you love?
If the one I love, okay, with that one, let her go. So what? Hey, you cannot hold her. You cannot hold her heart. Only voluntarily. If she love you, she never go with nobody. Right?
That's right.
So, for me, I don't fight for love. The love come to me.
That's right. So you don't chase it, you attract it.
I don't chase it. For what? I don't fight either.
So you're a lover, not a fighter.
Huh?
You're a lover, not a fighter.
If they want to take it. But like the one really love me, they never go.
They never bullshit around.
Yeah. It's better than you stay with somebody don't love you.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go. Don't tie them back. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot hold their heart. That is voluntarily. If they love you, they stay. If they don't love you, no matter what you do, they still find a way to go.
Yeah.
You know? No matter how good you are, they still talk shit about you. If they love you, you shitty, they still good. They like that. They say, I like it like that. Who cares? They like it like that. Right?
I find you and Richard playing a lot of those types of Did You Know?
Me? Oh, I got into that. That's what you call it. I cannot help but say that is what you call kind of snack it philosophy. Because I just see him as drunk and talking. That is like a lime in a snack it somewhere in El Dorado, close to Trinidad. And you're talking philosophy. Yeah, I know about love. Don't let him go. Let him go. You call the woman, leave him.
I mean, they must leave him because he was in the skit.
Let them go. No, but they give you good advice. They let them go. Don't fight for them. Let them go.
That's real snack it philosophy. Yeah. It may have some truth in it, but the persona giving it took me to snack it philosophy.
Let him go. He's clearly Asian. I don't know, maybe Korean or something.
Those snackers have plenty philosophy in it. You must know that. You have a rum box. Sometimes people wax warm. They have opinions and they have philosophy on life.
What's that? And I just call it Harper's Hospital. I don't call it I said it was Harper's Hospital. It's real patients that be walking in there during the day.
You have to listen to everybody who was, you know.
And he's the doctor and the therapist. He's the everything, you know. He doesn't have an opinion on everything for everybody, you know. Harper's Hospital. That is the name of the place.
Yeah, people just come in and just say, give me a rude boy 24%. We don't have that, so we will be at 12, but give me 2.
Oh.
She leave me. Oh God, you're depressed. No, I'm happy.
So Papa must know all the customer business and words, right?
Everything he know.
Oh God, hey.
Harper's Hospital. That's the place. That's the name of the place. AKA Rumbox.
So I just that I remember, like I remember when one of my sons, when he was going into school, and they called the assembly with the parents before and one of the things that the principal said is everything you all do in your house ends up in the school. So be careful what you do in front of the children and say to them. And I suppose it's the same thing in like with the rum shop. Everything that goes on, good or bad in the house, it coming right in the rum shop.
Yeah.
Rum shop and barber shop.
Yep.
Oh, that's our next place.
Yeah.
Yeah, barber shops and then there's some too.
That's why Korea.
And sometimes sometimes you go to a barber shop and they always not necessarily barber, because the barber who I usually go by, I haven't got my for a while, but who I usually go by is very quiet. Which I prefer.
I don't know of a quiet barber.
Yeah, he's very quiet. And he, he does what he has to do. But sometimes the other barbers are there. They're talkative. And there's some of them maybe used to listen, not to this program, but the previous iteration. So sometimes I'm there and they'll be like, yeah, what you take, Richard? And so on, so. And I'm like, I don't want to discuss this. I have no opinion, but now you're under pressure, in a chair, sit down, trapped, and you have to answer to some degree.
Yeah.
Whatever the topic is. And I'm like...
And you have them barbers, when they're trimming you, they just stop and sit and or they're on the phone. And
those are a nightmare. Those are a nightmare. That's the first and last time.
Yeah. And then people, we're taking the calls to it 113-152-9951. 56. Good morning to you, caller.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you.
I have a question reference the U.S. immigration. My son went to get his U.S. visa. And a matter of fact, he had went last year or year before, and he was denied. Okay, so went again recently, and he was denied again, even though he had all his documents and so forth. The person then didn't look at his documents, he said. I just said status hasn't changed since the last time he came. And even though he's at a job and all the relevant documents, he was still denied. So I can understand. We are baffled about and not to say he didn't have a visa. He had a visa before, and this time around he was denied.
Yeah, for some reason or the other, he probably was flagged for something, either overstaying or something. Because they don't ever tell you, because we've interviewed them many times. They don't ever tell you,
No, he never overstayed, because we always travel as a family. Right? Something you're a teenager, adults and all too. Never went by himself. We always travel as a family. But this time around, he was denied.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the next thing to where that passport, which I was talking about, I went and renewed my passport recently, and it took me 3 months before I got my new passport. And the expedited, it used to be $600. Now it's over $1,000 to expedite.
Yeah, it's so 1100
more to get back my passport.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that issue of the US visa, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't ask questions. They don't offer explanations. It just happens.
Yeah,
There's a
I mean, what
question
you
of
would have to
time.
look. What I would suggest is look at what if the consular officer is saying that your circumstances haven't changed. They're really probably looking at the financial circumstances.
Yeah, and it's tied to here.
Yeah, and that's what you'd probably have to look at to see what has changed. So, in terms of addressing the weakness of the application, you'd have to look there and see what it is there that has not changed. That because obviously, the consular officer doesn't have to look. I feel like I'm working for the U.S. Embassy. The consular officer doesn't have to look at your actual documents. Number documentation is not a requirement.
Yeah.
But what they're really going to look at is your online application.
Yes.
And all of the information is already there in what you would have entered. And so they're making the decision on that, on the basis of what your online application would have said. Sometimes the documentation can help, but there's no requirement for you to bring in documentation.
Yeah. It could also be that...
But it can help because you're trying to show that you have ties to the country, and because remember, by default, the US assumes you want to migrate, and you have to rebut that assumption.
Yeah.
So that's really what you're trying to do, rebut that
assumption. Especially for people who would have gotten their visas when they were a teenager, when they were young, school age, especially if you're traveling with your parents, as opposed to when you cross that age of 18 and you have to now do it for yourself. Trust me, 2 years work on or certain things, they would not, as Richard said just now, they will just naturally assume you go into there to stay. That's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a tough one.
The higher up you move up the academic ladder, too helps.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has a degree or not, but if he doesn't get a degree, things like that, all of that helps.
Yeah. Employment, longevity, a marriage here, a child here, those things, I mean, I ain't telling him to go and get married here. But those are things that could assist someone who get in those kind of problems. But sometimes you go and you get it easier. The same person with the same qualifications gets it very easy, And then sometimes again you go back and nope.
All right, guys, morning, Paul, and we go into the news. Wendell, backdrop.
Do you believe the members of the LGBTQ community are being targeted? We would have read an article, and of course there are articles in both newspapers today concerning that. Yeah. One where the police say they don't think that they are, but you can't help but see some of these things glaring in your face. As I say, I've known of others who have lost their lives in similar circumstances that they didn't link to the community, but I know they are. You understand? Yeah. So that's our poll this morning.
Okay, so people vote as we go to the news.
Our poll this morning. Do you believe members of the LGBTQ plus community are being targeted? For voting yes, you type 1. Voting no, type 2. That's all you have to vote, 1 or 2. That's all you're typing into the stream, and the platform will automatically tabulate your vote. So type 1 if you do believe they're being targeted, and type 2 if you disagree.
Nice. All right, news is straight ahead, people.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on NETT Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Trinidad and Tobago is hot right now and benefiting from stronger diplomatic ties with international partners, particularly the United States, according to Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers. Sobers says high-level engagement with the U.S. has increased significantly since the Kamla Prasad Besesar administration took office, with discussions focused on investment, economic diversification, and new business opportunities. He also highlighted the Mannequin Coquina gas field, saying the cross-border development has placed TNT back on the global energy map and will strengthen future energy security. Sobers said the government is also advancing plans to rehabilitate the Point Lisa steel plant, describing the latest agreements as another important step toward attracting investment. The Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago is welcoming the reopening of the Point Lisa steel plant, saying it could create significant employment and business opportunities while positioning TNT as a producer of vanadium. The chamber says the plant, which closed in 2016 with the loss of 644 jobs, is expected to restore direct employment over time and generate opportunities for local contractors and service companies. US $250 million is expected to be invested over the next 2 years, with total planned investment reaching US $750 million. First production is targeted for the end of 2027, subject to refurbishment and approvals. The Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce also welcomed the development, describing it as a major boost for jobs, foreign exchange earnings, and economic diversification. Economists are urging caution over the planned US $750 million revival of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant at Point Lisas, despite its potential to boost Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Professor Patrick Watson says the investment could generate much-needed foreign exchange, but questioned whether enough information has been provided about the deal, including how the plant will secure natural gas. He also warned that multinational companies ultimately pursue their own interests, and said the country should wait for results before declaring the project a success. Dr. Jamelia Harris said the investment has significant potential, but its benefits will depend on the agreements negotiated by government. She called for strong local content provisions, greater clarity on tax concessions and incentives, and safeguards to ensure Trinidad and Tobago nationals benefit from employment and senior positions. Both economists also urged scrutiny of the project's environmental impact and warned against sacrificing long-term interests for short-term gains. The murder of LGBTQIA activist Kwasi Dion Gill has triggered widespread calls for justice as community organizations mourn his death. Gill's body was found along Lady Young Road on Sunday, hours after he was reported missing. Pride TT, CAISO, the Family Planning Association, and the United Caribbean Trans Persons Network described him as a mentor, advocate, and community leader who dedicated years to supporting vulnerable people. The organizations are calling for a prompt, thorough, and transparent investigation, with Pride TT saying Gill's family, friends, and community deserve answers. Meanwhile, an off-duty police constable is without his Hyundai Elantra after it was stolen while he attended a party in Chaguaramas. Police said the vehicle also contained handcuffs, identification, and bank cards. And a 44-year-old man was robbed of his $145,000 MGZS along the foreshore in Mucurapo on Monday night. 2 armed men allegedly dragged him from the vehicle and drove away in it, while a second car fled alongside them. In regional news, Venezuelan police have rescued 14 people who were allegedly being prepared for transport to Trinidad and Tobago for forced labor. The victims were rescued last Friday in Delta Amacuro, near an area associated with illegal migration and human trafficking. Venezuelan authorities say the group had allegedly been recruited through false promises of employment and economic opportunities in Tanti. Regional security consultant Dr. Garvin Hira described the rescue as good news, but cautioned that it does not indicate human trafficking between Venezuela and Tanti is declining. He said the operation instead highlights the continued activity of transnational criminal networks and called for sustained, intelligence-led enforcement and stronger intelligence sharing between the two countries. Hira also warned that networks used to traffic people can facilitate the movement of drugs, firearms, ammunition, and illicit cash. Internationally, 3 convicted murderers in the United States are scheduled to be executed today, as the country records a sharp rise in capital punishment. Anthony Darrell Hines is due to be executed in Tennessee, Jeremy Williams in Alabama, and Carlos Cuesta Rodriguez in Oklahoma. There were 47 executions across 11 U.S. states last year, up from 25 in 2024, with Florida accounting for about 40% of the total. Experts attribute the increase partly to policies under President Donald Trump, a strong supporter of the death penalty, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has backed measures making executions easier to carry out. However, public and jury support is declining. A recent Gallup poll found only 52% of Americans consider the death penalty morally acceptable, while juries handed down just 23 death sentences last year, compared with more than 300 annually during the 1990s. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
Somewhere up in Laventine, many years ago, a man had a hammer, used to follow him to and fro. He used to use it to pong a pan, or sometimes a stupid man, all in the savannah, never miss panorama. One day the old hammer just disappeared. Oh, some say that it vanished into thin air. Away the man with the hammer gone. Tell me where he gone. Anybody know where the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Can you tell me what's going on? Tell me where he gone. I want to know where the hammer gone. Tell me where he gone. Why you up and leave? Why you make me grieve? Hammer, tell me flat. Why you do with that? Oh Lord. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. From April of 85, Hammer went to sleep. After years of making noise, not even a peep. He used to move with the dragon man, all through the soca land, always on the scene. They used to control the Baba Green. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. Who holding the hammer? I want to know. How is the man with the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Thunderbolt Williams, what's going on? Tell me where he gone. This thing like a police boots on the con. Tell me where he gone. I know I hear by why the lima on phone. Tell me where he gone. Children, search under your bed. All above your head. Look behind the door. What you waiting for? Oh Lord. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. No more, no more. Well, the dragon don't walk the trail no more. On a silver chariot, riding to the sun, leaving fire in its wake, spirits on the run. As we gather round that day, I hear Sister Sheila say, how last night she see a sign, she see the hammer and it doing fine. Same time thunder roll, she ball out, you see? He done start to tune up and already. How is the man with the hammer gone? Tell me where he gone. Sister Sheila, what going on? Tell me where he gone. This hammer giving we a heavy horn. Tell me where he gone. This thing like a police boots on me con. Tell me where he gone.
You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
I know that is a question everybody has been asking for a long, long time. Some people actually still want to find out who the man is, the hammer is. Wow, the jury's still out. But you know what? Good morning to you guys, and of course, welcome inside the second hour. This is the Breakfast Show. Yes, your Breakfast Show. Monday to Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Wendell Stephen. No S in between there, right? Richard Raghubar Singh. And of course, yours truly, Sir Charles. We keep your company here on NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And yes, we are taking you above and beyond excellence. Yeah. So glad to be in your company. I want to say good morning to the folks on Guile Caribbean TV. Thanks for joining us. Good morning to all our early risers also. And of course, all those that came in along the way, thank you so much for making NETT Radio your choice. Remember, when you don't see us on the social media pages or on Guile TV, because we carry the talk shows live, when we go back to music and stuff, you can come across to netradiott.com. That's NETT Radio TT.com. And of course, you can listen to our excellent programming, as Richard says, all day and every day, because we stream 24 hours a day. So much happening for you here, right? What we want you to do for us is to follow, like, subscribe, share all our social media pages and platforms. So you can go to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even our WhatsApp channel. It's NETT Radio Trinidad. It's simple branding. All you have to do is look for NETT Radio Trinidad. And of course, you can put your stamp on all of those channels, right? For those of you who are streaming on the many different platforms, whether you're on Radio Garden, Online Radio Box, Simple Radio, TuneIn, you name it, well, you can get us on NETT Radio Trinidad. Tell your Google and smart devices, Alexa, what's the next one? Siri? Play NETT Radio Trinidad or play NETT Radio Trinidad. And of course, yeah, you command the thing from right there. Okay? People, don't forget, we're getting ready for the Color Week Cooler Cruise. It's coming up on Saturday. If you have not gotten your ticket as yet, hey, guess what? You need to do so, I don't know, today. There are just a few places you can get those tickets. Rumbox, Crosby's in St. James, and Bobby's Bar in Kirab. Of course, you can call any one of our numbers, 281-1315 or 299-5156. Check any one of our DJs or presenters, and you can get your ticket. All right. Remember, you can also support the cruise and support the station by purchasing a ticket or two, or just donating to the channel. Right. Of course, all our social media pages and our website have our donate buttons also, so you can follow it. Very easy. Giving you a time check, it's now 20 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. On our morning poll this morning, we're asking you, in light of all that you have been seeing, I don't know, in the past, do you think that members of the LGBTQ plus community, they are being targeted? And I know we've seen lots and lots of comments on that there. So if you feel that they are being targeted, you're voting 1. If you say no, well, you're voting 2. And when we come back after the break, we will tell you how you voted, okay? So don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August. Boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them you's a
bird
big
tickets are
dancer.
just $200. After $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Bats International in Arima, Kiss Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Hula Cruise, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween, on the scene.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, everybody, and of course, welcome back to the breakfast show. Of course, yes, this is the second hour of the breakfast show. Making sure we keep you always in step with time because, you know, Trinidadians, Trinbagonians, and some of us carry them in other places when we go to. You know, we feel anytime is Trinidad, we could come in anytime. But it's now 24 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. If you're still home and you're supposed to be at work for 7 o'clock, unless you're working from home, trust me, that's very unacceptable. And if you have to be there at 8 o'clock, make sure you're on the move like Wendell. Wendell is always early. You don't play that. That was one thing. Wendell, you don't miss flight and thing, right?
No, at all. I missed flight once when I was traveling with my ex-wife. She was a chronic late person. She always running out of here last minute. And that was telling you, I remember telling you we had to drive 2 vehicles sometimes to functions because she would always be late and I can't be late for a city council function. So we used to drive 2 vehicles because I can't be late. I telling you, I grew up going on dates with people and I would be there like 15 minutes, half an hour before I was supposed to meet them. And then at the time I meet them, I go on and knock on the door or ring the bell. Because I just don't like being late. I hate it.
I don't like it either. I try to be very early for things. And I remember when I was going to school, I was going like on Besassa Street, and as my primary school, I went to El Socorro Islamia TIA school. I'm very proud of, you know. And I would be leaving Barataria and coming up to school, you know, and reaching to school on time every day, you know. And you know, when they have the late line, and I will constantly see the principal talking to these people who are coming late and people who living right on the street, who living right around the corner in the area. Why if these children are coming from so far? and reaching here on time. Why it is you all who living right here around the corner can't reach the school on time?
Yeah, I was fortunate, as I said, I went to school literally right in my area. Both schools I attended were in St. James, and I lived in St. James. So I was never a late person at school. So it started even there at primary school. I was never late. You know what I mean? But I can't be late. I can't operate like that.
Yeah, can't do late.
Nah, I can't do the late thing. I can't do it better. And unless I have an absolute good reason, and sometimes I have a good reason, and I will always communicate to the person, hey, I will be late. Sometimes I used to say I will be late in meetings in City Hall, but still I there before everybody, you know. But I running later.
Yeah.
But I still reaching before everybody, you know. So I will always send a message.
Yeah.
You know, that's just been me. And you know, I know one thing I wouldn't be late for. It's my own funeral.
Oh, okay. Well, I know somebody who was late for their funeral. They were always late for work, and I don't know if it happened just by coincidence because he was a custom officer, and he would be 2 and 3 hours late for work when he's supposed to be working in the morning. You know, lunchtime, you know, rolling in and stuff and thing. And when he died, the funeral home brought his body late. I was wondering. I said, but this had to be they must do that. Maybe the family must request that because like he was late for everything. Because I remember talking to like the children who were close to him and stuff and thing, and like if they like they're planning a day to go, like it's holidays now, they're going on the beach, right? And they be planning to go on the beach and stuff and thing. Mommy get up, cook the food and all kind of thing, and and he coming in the evening to carry them when the reach is almost time to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. It's just I'm around people who always hustling and late, and in this day and age, I don't know. It annoys me, but say what, you know. I've learned patience too, because there was a time I didn't have patience. I will not wait on you. You understand? I will not wait on you. Some other telling you I miss the days of me missing flight. That was because I was traveling with somebody else. That would never happen with me alone. You know what I mean? Never.
Yeah, try to be on time. And speaking of on time, people will try and be on time for the cruise on Saturday, right? Yeah. Don't wait until all the time is 8 o'clock. If all reach 8 o'clock, all you'll be on the pier, right, by yourself. 8 o'clock we roll in, and I'm not particular because we have a whole gate period between 7 and 8 for people to get there where we be boarding and stuff. So they try and come down early and time, please.
And it's a drive, eh? It's all the way to the end of Shagamas. Just remember, all the way to the end. If you pass the army base, you know you pass this place. But if you ain't reach the army base, then you ain't reach this place.
Because if you're driving, all depends on where you're coming from. I would say probably to get down inside a car and just what on average, if it have no traffic, probably a half an hour.
No, not so much. Half an hour, they walk. And I got 15 minutes. I mean, from the start by Westmall there to the end.
From Westmall.
Probably 10, 15 minutes.
All right, okay.
Yeah, and generally around that hour wouldn't have too much traffic.
All right. So, and then you cater from wherever you're coming from. So if you're coming from Rima, if you're coming from Sando, wherever you're coming from, cater that time, put it all together and know what time you have to leave to get there on time, right?
Yeah.
Do a little calculation to get yourself there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our morning poll.
Yeah, our poll is up, people. Do you believe members of the LGBTQ community are being targeted? If you're voting yes, you're voting 1. If you're voting no, you're voting 2. And I'm sure everybody here knows members of the community. And it's clear that they've not had it easy, and I mean they are discriminated against in more ways than one. But when they're being murdered, you understand, that's a problem. That's a big problem. You understand? Because if you're being murdered simply because you're different, then something is wrong with us human beings. Well, we know something wrong with us, eh?
Yeah, something wrong with us.
Yeah.
We know that.
We know that, yeah.
But you know, we need to be better human beings. So people call us now, 281-131-529-9156. If you have any views on what we are talking about, this is the morning poll time. So you get to comment on the morning poll. So 281-131-529-9156, right? Do you feel that members of the LGBTQ plus community, they are being targeted? You could share your thoughts with us. It'll be very interesting to hear what some of you have to say. Most recently, but I think I should pull back that article a little bit, you know, and give us a little back after this next call, all right? Caller,
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Lincoln.
Yes, the LGBTQ community is being targeted, but this is not a now thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a famous actor who was murdered. We assume it's because of his sexual preference. But we mustn't put them in a sector by themselves. Women are being targeted simply because they are women. There are a lot of other groups being targeted because of who they are. So they are just one in many groups that are being targeted for who they are. In some countries, black people are being targeted for who they are. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the point of singling out them as opposed to everybody else who are being targeted for who they are. You understand?
Yeah.
To answer your question directly, yes, they are being targeted for who they are, but for just their sexual preference. Right?
Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead, Uncle.
Anyway, there's another conversation.
Yeah, you'll call us back in a little bit.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. This is the article in today's Guardian Online. It says police say there is no evidence to date suggesting members of the LGBTQ community are being targeted. Responding to questions from the media yesterday, TTPS Communications Manager Joanne Archie, morning Miss Archie, said the murders of 2 members of the community are being investigated by Homicide Bureau. As it relates to the homicides of 2 members of the LGBTQ community, I communicated with the Homicide Bureau of Investigations, and my information is that their investigations thus far have not unearthed any evidence to suggest that these murders are connected or that persons of the community are being targeted. On August 8, 41-year-old Kwesi Dion Gill was found murdered at Textile Hill, Lady Young Road in Belmont. He was last seen alive the night before when he left his Beetham Gardens home to attend a function. His vehicle was also stolen. Last month, the body of Kobe Daniel Thomas was found near a tracking facility on Mount St. Catherine, Chagaramas, after a security officer who arrived for duty that morning discovered the body. There was a single gunshot to the back of his neck. Archie added that while both men were identified as being members of the community, no nexus was found during the investigations. In a media release yesterday, the coalition advocating for inclusion of sexual orientation, that's KAISO, said the community is reeling from the enormous loss and joins other communities who lost loved ones to violence. We cannot help but feel angry, afraid, anxious, and devastated. Our lives feel very fragile. We need justice and protection. Naturally, we have many questions about what happened. We hope that the TTPS gives this case their best effort and brings those responsible to justice. As the case unfolds, we trust that a duty of care and empathy prevails for all involved, including the TTPS, the media, and the wider public, KAISO said. Of course, former KAISO head was Colin Robinson, who we interviewed on many occasions on the Power Breakfast at Power 102. We would have interviewed him on a few occasions as well. You know? But as I said, there are other members, there are other deaths, other murders, and Lincoln pointed to one there are other murders that have happened, and is it because they as I saw somebody put up this post the other day, and I looked at it and I shook my head. Is it because they according to them they sin differently to you? I saw that post. You understand?
Yeah. Interesting. Paula, good morning. Front and center.
Morning, gentlemen. For Virginia, 5 Miami, Florida. I mean, for Florida, yeah, whatever. Front and center. Hey, listen. We don't know in this early part of this murder. How do you know this is a hate crime and maybe not a crime of passion? So, are you saying people of the LGBTQ community are not able to murder people, to rob, to be pedophiles, to be unlike everybody else? I think that's a bit irresponsible into just taking this.
Wait. Why do you feel you could come on radio sometimes and say the most in how you reach there? That how you reach that they can't be that?
This is a murder right now being investigated, correct?
Yeah.
Right, wrong or right? Is it a murder that is currently being investigated?
Yes.
It could be a crime. It could be it could be a crime of passion.
Yes.
Something.
So how you reach? I want to know how you reach that question just now.
Because
how you reach that question? That are they not capable? Of course they are. Everybody capable of being molesters and pedophiles and murderers themselves. Everybody. But how you reach there? How you went to that end?
Well, what was your question?
Yeah. If they are being targeted.
Do you think?
All right.
Okay. And is this based
so
upon?
You deal with here.
This question was based on. Was it based upon a recent murder? That's all I'm asking.
Well,
I just read the article.
I
just read the article and I just said that there have been others.
But there has been
gone to the fact
others.
That you're questioning what they could be now. I don't understand. I don't think you all be thinking sometimes what you're saying, you know.
Straight sufferers don't care whether you're gay. I mean,
naturally, Ron. But I'm asking you how you reach the other end of that spectrum so quickly in the same sentence. Everybody capable of being an evil person, you know. But that's not what our poll is about.
Yeah, we try to look at it on a broader spectrum. Thanks much.
Okay, well, I stand corrected if that's the case, right? But it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much. Yeah, we just look at it on the broader spectrum because you look at see what has been happening over time. This one might just have been the latest one, but you look at others that have happened in the past, and are you getting the feeling that people are being targeted? And I mean, when I look at it, I don't see like before how people in the earlys used to jeer, make fun. People used to beat individuals in the area and all those different kinds of things. Because I grew up in an area where there was a fairly noticeable segment of persons of that community. They had like parties and all different things, and sometimes you would see how people will meet and treat with those individuals. But over time, I have not really seen that kind of thing happening. But when you look at it, because everybody have their different experiences across the board, do you feel that members of the community are being targeted? Maybe not just now, maybe a long time ago, and that is what we're asking this morning to vote on, So
yeah, just if you don't have an opinion, you understand, or you have an opinion that everybody else is being targeted similarly, which is what the police is saying, and which is what Lincoln pointed to, that other people are being targeted. Fine, but how were you reaching that they are they not capable of being pedophiles and murderers too? How you reach there? If you have an opinion, yes or no, fine. or you have no opinion and it's fine. But how you gone down the road of even making an attack? That's how I interpreted that. Oh, Jesus.
Hold 1 minute there before Richard gets inside. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Sir Charles. Morning, Wenda, Richard.
Morning.
Morning.
I voted two because, I voted two because I don't believe they have been targeted in the sense that it just happened to be two known people from the community who was murdered. But the amount of murders went by, I am certain there are certain people who was murdered before that belong to the community that were not known, particularly known openly to the public, right? However, it is unfortunate that things like this have to happen because the gay community as well as the general public, so many murders taking place these few days here that it just happened that these two people stand out to be known. If you all understand it, I mean. Right? Yeah. It is unfortunate. It is quite unfortunate that something like this has to happen. Whether they are from the LGBTQ or they're from the general public. Yeah. It is unfortunate because it is not easy when a life is taken. When a life is lost, as I refer back to the deceased Carol Guevara, it puts you much more for when a life is taken. Right? So I don't believe that they are targeted. I just might.
Okay.
Somebody else have a different view, but for me, it's an open, kind of topic.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate your contribution, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
I too, if I had to vote, I would vote no. But that's why I tell people there are some topics that are extremely sensitive. You see this topic, it is. You see the topic of child molestation and pedophilia, they are very sensitive topics. So you have to understand, you can't introduce, how I should put it, these kind of statements into sensitive topics. You have to be, and Ariel Baca, maybe I agree with you in a kind of way, You said his inappropriateness is probably fueled by yours. Well, I assume the question is speculative and not for underdeveloped minds. That's probably very true. It's probably not for underdeveloped minds to discuss. But guess what? We assume everybody here are developed enough to discuss topics, any topic. Because we don't discriminate on topics, Because a lot of people feel we might be too political, but we don't discriminate on topics. We discuss everything on this morning show. And we are happy to do so. You understand? But, just we hoping that everybody may be at a level that if you don't have an opinion or if you know your opinion might be considered offensive, keep it there, sir.
Yeah. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. I want to attack. Anyway, let me just say.
No, don't use the word attack.
But that statement, that statement this morning was seriously inappropriate. Was he trying to suggest that the LGBTQ community is predominantly pedophiles and sexual deviants?
I don't even want to speculate on what his interpretation is, Honestly, I don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Because most of the pedophiles is straight white men. So I don't understand why he would even venture to go down that road. Most of the pedophiles and the deviants out there are straight white men. The people who molesting children most of them are straight white men. Why are we always associating people of the LGBTQ community as sexual deviants? There have been little to no cases of them molesting children. It's always grown-ass men doing that thing who's straight. Right? I don't want to put to white men only, but they're predominantly that. But there are always men who are not of that community into that. but we like to clump them and say that they are this. I hate it, because when you see the facts, we don't like to acknowledge the facts. The facts are if we are to do a study of most of the the school shooters, they are Christian white men. We don't demonize Christianity, right? But if it's one Muslim man do something, all of a sudden the whole Muslim religion is terrorist. All terrorism happens like white Christian men. We don't demonize Christianity. We as they say, the problem, I always say, two phrases I like to use. The problem is we, Problem is not just not anybody. The problem is we. We that criticize we, and we that demonize we. We is our own worst enemy. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Human beings are special, yes. We have so much to answer to and so much to answer for. I don't know if go ahead, Richard.
I think the main idea that it is a media article and it came out in the media and the police had to respond is because the community is concerned. Because the last two murders that are being referenced, were they similar style murders, Wendell?
Well, one, I don't know how Dion was killed. They didn't say. But the other person was shot in the back of his head.
Right, which kind of looks like an execution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not so sure about the latest one with Dion Gill. Whether that, but in social media reporting, they were saying that it was along the same lines.
Yeah.
So I think
in other words, they were lured to somewhere and killed.
Yes. So I think that's the concern. And of course, prior to all of this now, you've had reports in the media, not about murders, but about members of the LGBT community and the platforms like Grindr and stuff like that, where people are being robbed or beaten and stuff like that. You've had those things coming up.
Yeah, again, they've been lured into areas and robbed.
Exactly. So there is a concern. Is it that the LGBTQ community is being targeted? Because if you look at social media posts, there's a lot of hate. If you were to go by those comments, and of course, a lot of them are people who either are anonymous or have locked profiles. Locked profile always means kind of like anonymous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of hate out there to the LGBTQ community. I'm not saying the majority of the country, but there are a lot of people who say, very inflammatory things. When you look at the posts after some of those articles are posted and you look at the comments, and there are many, I'm not saying the most people who are commenting, that would be, not necessarily correct, but there are quite a few who are very inflammatory and often inflammatory and say hurtful things, and they say it in the name of God. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
They say it in the name of God.
I know it only too well.
Yep.
People, the morning poll results are up. It was going back and forth.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It was even like Stephen this morning. Again, So that is good. Wendell is triggering your responses. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not afraid to discuss anything on this program. You know that. We face everything head on. Of course, our poll this morning was: do you believe members of the LGBTQ plus community are being targeted? 42% of you said yes, and 58% said no. 42% said yes, 58% said no. All right? Good poll.
Yeah, and until this society is equalized, and a lot of times you see comments on social media where people saying why they want more rights. It's not wanting more rights, it's wanting the right to exist in a place where you can pursue your own joy and your own home and family life like everybody else.
Yeah.
But prejudice and bias, and to a certain degree fueled by sometimes people's religious beliefs, but sometimes the inherent bias works against that. So you're in a
Yeah.
society where you have to go to the Privy Council after a High Court decision by Frank C. Prasad that knocked down the laws against intimate same-sex relationships and stuff like that. And it has to go all the way to the Privy Council because the politicians don't have the cojones to say, in 2026, we don't have to spend millions of dollars to go to Privy Council to do what's right in terms of a marginalized group. So they prefer the courts decide it. Okay? So it's now going to the Privy Council. So you have to now wait for the Privy Council to make a decision about the equality of life, about people. Because you don't have same-sex marriage in this country, but you have same-sex couples, and I would have experienced it as a lawyer too. You have same-sex couples that live together for 30, 40, 50 years. And one of the partners dies, and the family zooms in, who were never talking to them. Because they're living with man or they're living with woman. In a relationship, you're hearing what I'm saying, 30, 40, 50 years sometimes, and the family zooms in to get all what that was in that person's name.
Yeah.
And get all of the assets. And the partner who has lived and loved with that person for years is stuck trying to seek legal redress in a country that does not necessarily recognize that you are in a cohabitational relationship like straight couples will get. You can't apply for the NIS, even though you have both contributed, both parties may have contributed to the NIS system and have lived together as a couple for years that sometimes outlive straight couples relationships, but they can't seek the NIS benefits of a partner who has died because the state says we don't recognize you. Now, how is all of that fair? If you're being objective and balanced about looking at a society where you want people to be all treated equally. But once religious gets into the mix, logic goes out. So,
well, Richard, at one point in time, I totally believed it was all about religion, but it's not even so much about religion anymore. I think we just have a bunch of hateful people now. I don't know that they're any more religious than anybody else. I don't think they're religious at all.
You may be right.
I think we just have so many people with hate.
Yeah, you're right. There's, and I want to believe the majority of the country is fair about it, but I have no data to prove that. But to be just to be fair about people wanting to seek their own space and joy and happiness in an already difficult and challenging world.
All right, guys, hold on 1 minute. We are taking your calls as we get ready to talk. So give us a call, 281-131-5299-5156. And we have a caller back on the inside. Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Richard, I'm glad that you mentioned that conversation about the court. I have wanted to articulate something about something that happened many years ago, and it's still I believe it's still in the court, that I feel is total nonsense. But because of, as you rightly just said, predominantly religion has fueled it. This law, this buggery law, anytime it comes into the play, I always want to ask myself, how many people have been charged for buggery law, for that buggery law? Because if it is done involuntarily, we already have a charge on the book for that. That is called rape. That is called assault. What is the difference? What is the need for a buggery law, if not only to target the LGBTQ community?
Well, the way the law is phrased, that sort of intimate sexual act it's made illegal between straight and gay couples.
Yeah.
How the law is phrased.
Exactly, and we don't understand. We in order to persecute one sector of people, we open it up ourselves to being targeted. Because anytime a straight woman decides to victimize she husband, she man, she boyfriend, she thinks, she run into the police station and say, "Buggery." And guess what? The police have no choice but to charge you for something that happened voluntarily between both of you. You understand? And if you think you want to protect children, they already have a charge on the books for that. It's called rape, it's called child molestation, it's called all kind of things. Right? But you're right and you're wrong in a kind of way, because you're right in that most of these people, they're not religious people. But guess what? They use that book, which is why I always say that book is a dangerous book. They use that book to jump in whenever it's convenient to them and pull it out and say, "Aha, look here." You understand? The Bible says so. And they cherry pick everything that they want to demonize any society, any sector of the society, because they don't only demonize the LGBTQ community. But anything that they don't like, they jump into the book, cherry pick, and pull out a line and say, "Look, aha, the Bible says so. All right?
Good morning. Oleg link. I'm with you this morning. Yeah, run after the
but Lincoln is just 1 second. Yeah, but Lincoln is not wrong, because Wendell and Sir Charles, right now, that problem is happening in Africa. For the LGBT community in Africa, where it is that right-wing Christian churches in the United States, they are actually pumping money into making sure that there are laws in places like Ghana and stuff like that. That if there's a current law right now in Ghana that made international news just about a week ago,
I think I'm going to send that in the chat.
That even if you're befriending or you supporting a person who is in the LGBTQ community, that you're subject to charge.
Yes.
No, the president has not signed it. Yeah, the president has not signed it. And a lot of it is fueled by American Christian right-wing money.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in Ghana, I think in Uganda and and some other African countries. The only one where it's constitutionally protected is South Africa, where there are constitutional protections for the community.
All right, hold there, guys. Good morning.
So Charles, have you checked our chat? Not the chat on the program, our personal chat.
Yeah, I know. Check. I kind of in between, back and forth.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen and gentle people. How are you guys doing today?
Morning.
Yeah, I almost didn't make it. I went to bed at after 3 this morning, so I almost didn't sleep this whole period. Listen.
We'll be tempted to ask you why, but we won't.
You're listening to very interesting things. And first of all, let me start with Wendell. You talk about the Bible and religion, right? But let me show you something. You all keep forgetting that if religious people kill Christ, you know. It's very, very religious to kill righteous people.
I'll be surprised.
It's true.
No, that's a fact. That's a very, very fact. Christ was like, I like to think of myself as following Christ. It's like you go and buy a piece of material in a clothes store, and you do whatever you want to do. It's up to you, between you and God. Simple as that. So God gave you His word. It's up to you to trust in His word and live your life. My grandfather taught my brothers like, learn in life. Learn to live and let live. My neighbors are gay and they're married. Many times they're fighting. I have to go between them and part them. Understand? So you can live with people. They have to live their lives. That's nobody's business. That's between them and God. And it's crazy that, and then that same thing, Richard, where you talked about that people, when somebody passed, and then the rest of the family come and just grab things and stuff. Right now, I told you one of my aunts, my father's younger sister passed last month. And we have my cousin, she's a flight attendant at JetBlue. And she's travished. She wants to fight the husband, a legal husband, for their house and everything. She wants everything. And this is how people behave. They're travished and they don't realize that one day they're going to die and leave everything. It's just people have some evil ways in them. That's what it is, and selfish ways. You know, and Richard, you said a lot of correct things, and I agree with you. But let people live and you live. Live and let live. And that people have to put that in their heads. And you live a happier life. But remember, Christ was killed by religious people. Remember that. It's a fact.
Thanks, Captain Ron.
Oh my word! Anyhow, people, in between all that you all are talking about, at the end of the day, people need to be protected, and if people feel that they are being targeted, then they need to speak out, and those who have the authority to protect those individuals need to do so.
Yeah. I passed, just quickly, I passed by Eddie Hadgrong last night. I didn't realize the police post is where it is. I thought it was more closer to the corner, like the junction of the Orange Grove Road and the bus route, where it would have been more visible. It's kind of down Orange Grove Road, eh? It's kind of where the children play area is. I don't know that, well, I don't know why they choose down there. But I would have thought that they would have put it more visible closer to the PBR, where it would have been easier to kind of get out and in to the different points, But who am I?
Yeah. But if they go closer to the PBR, then they have to build a bridge or something to get on that area, because remember that from the Eddie Hart to the PBR, it had high steps. You don't in a hole.
You mean the police post? The police post is closer to the PBR. Is that what you're saying, man?
No, it's down midway. Orange Grove Road. It's down. It's more down in the street.
It's midway,
as opposed to closer to the PBR.
And where the food court is.
Yeah. Well, I suppose. Well, I think. Well, let me say why that might be a better position. It would be one, closer to the highway, and two, one could provide some sort of relief to the people in the food vendors there. And three, if you put it too close to the priority bus route, you're going to be actually taking up space that people utilize for sports and stuff like that. So I think maybe that all of that might have factored in, I'm assuming.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's just not as visible as I thought it would be if it came closer to the PBR now. Because there's some space there in the corner that if they concrete and fix all that, what Sir Charles just raised up there, all that issue of different heights. That's what concrete for.
Well,
yeah.
anyway.
People, we are going for the news at 8 o'clock. When we come back, we'll continue to take your calls. We'll chat with you on the other side. Today being Thursday, actually, no, we'll be talking with Dirk Band. So stay with us.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Trinidad and Tobago is hot right now and benefiting from stronger diplomatic ties with international partners, particularly the United States, according to Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers. Sobers says high-level engagement with the U.S. has increased significantly since the Kamla Prasad-Bisesar administration took office, with discussions focused on investment, economic diversification, and new business opportunities. He also highlighted the Mannequin Coquina gas field, saying the cross-border development has placed TNT back on the global energy map and will strengthen future energy security. Sobers said the government is also advancing plans to rehabilitate the Point Lisa steel plant, describing the latest agreements as another important step toward attracting investment. The Energy Chamber of Trinidad and Tobago is welcoming the reopening of the Point Lisa steel plant, saying it could create significant employment and business opportunities while positioning TNT as a producer of vanadium. The chamber says the plant, which closed in 2016 with the loss of 644 jobs, is expected to restore direct employment over time and generate opportunities for local contractors and service companies. US $250 million is expected to be invested over the next 2 years, with total planned investment reaching US $750 million. First production is targeted for the end of 2027, subject to refurbishment and approvals. The Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce also welcomed the development, describing it as a major boost for jobs, foreign exchange earnings, and economic diversification. Economists are urging caution over the planned U.S. $750 million revival of the former ArcelorMittal steel plant at Point Lisas, despite its potential to boost Trinidad and Tobago's economy. Professor Patrick Watson says the investment could generate much-needed foreign exchange, but questioned whether enough information has been provided about the deal, including how the plant will secure natural gas. He also warned that multinational companies ultimately pursue their own interests, and said the country should wait for results before declaring the project a success. Dr. Jamelia Harris said the investment has significant potential, but its benefits will depend on the agreements negotiated by government. She called for strong local content provisions, greater clarity on tax concessions and incentives, and safeguards to ensure Trinidad and Tobago nationals benefit from employment and senior positions. Both economists also urged scrutiny of the project's environmental impact and warned against sacrificing long-term interests for short-term gains. The murder of LGBTQIA activist Kwasi Dion Gill has triggered widespread calls for justice as community organizations mourn his death. Gill's body was found along Lady Young Road on Sunday, hours after he was reported missing. Pride TT, CAISO, the Family Planning Association, and the United Caribbean Trans Persons Network described him as a mentor, advocate, and community leader who dedicated years to supporting vulnerable people. The organizations are calling for a prompt, thorough, and transparent investigation, with Pride TT saying Gill's family, friends, and community deserve answers. Meanwhile, an off-duty police constable is without his Hyundai Elantra after it was stolen while he attended a party in Chaguaramas. Police said the vehicle also contained handcuffs, identification, and bank cards. And a 44-year-old man was robbed of his $145,000 MGZS along the foreshore in Mucurapo on Monday night. Two armed men allegedly dragged him from the vehicle and drove away in it, while a second car fled alongside them. In regional news, Venezuelan police have rescued 14 people who were allegedly being prepared for transport to Trinidad and Tobago for forced labor. The victims were rescued last Friday in Delta Amacuro, near an area associated with illegal migration and human trafficking. Venezuelan authorities say the group had allegedly been recruited through false promises of employment and economic opportunities in Tanti. Regional security consultant Dr. Garvin Hira described the rescue as good news, but cautioned that it does not indicate human trafficking between Venezuela and Tanti is declining. He said the operation instead highlights the continued activity of transnational criminal networks and called for sustained, intelligence-led enforcement and stronger intelligence sharing between the two countries. Hira also warned that networks used to traffic people can facilitate the movement of drugs, firearms, ammunition, and illicit cash. Internationally, 3 convicted murderers in the United States are scheduled to be executed today, as the country records a sharp rise in capital punishment. Anthony Darrell Hines is due to be executed in Tennessee, Jeremy Williams in Alabama, and Carlos Cuesta Rodriguez in Oklahoma. There were 47 executions across 11 U.S. states last year, up from 25 in 2024, with Florida accounting for about 40% of the total. Experts attribute the increase partly to policies under President Donald Trump, a strong supporter of the death penalty, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has backed measures making executions easier to carry out. However, public and jury support is declining. A recent Gallup poll found only 52% of Americans consider the death penalty morally acceptable, while juries handed down just 23 death sentences last year, compared with more than 300 annually during the 1990s. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio. NETT Radio. Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcott's Chaguaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs. Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them you's a
bird
big
tickets are
dancer.
just $200. After $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Cooler Cruise. Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Color Week on the scene.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Myself. I can't behave myself. Now remember, people, it's on this Saturday we're talking about, right? So just a couple more days for the Color Week Cooler Cruise. Get your tickets and get your tickets now. If you haven't got it, let me tell you, the one or two places that you could get it. You could go to Rumbox in St. James, Crosby's in St. James, and Bobby's Bar in Kirip. That is it. All right. Other than that, you'll have to call our numbers, talk to any one of the DJs or the presenters, and of course, they will be able to see if they still have a ticket that they can, help you out with. But right now, we are down to the wire, and we are looking forward to all of you coming on board. Get the few remaining tickets that are outside there. Come and have a fantastic time. It's a cooler cruise. Remember, it's color we, so pre-independent, so it's red, white, and black. Mix and match your colors now, man. Look good in the red, white, and black. Ladies, they look good in all them colors. All right, and of course, remember, no glass bottles, but walk with your cooler. If you don't have a cooler, don't worry about that. They both have a bar and have a food area, so you can get all that. It's not everybody want to pack up with a cooler. If it's just you and a friend or you and one other person, you might want to move with a whole cooler. But that's all right. You can still get drinks. You can purchase your drinks and food on the boat. We are boarding at Hartscots, which is right down inside of Shagaramas, just before the checkout there by the soldiers. When they'll say on average is about 15 or 20 minutes, make sure they calculate all the time well, because we are boarding at 7 p.m. So make sure you reach just be around or before that area so you can board early, because at 8 o'clock, we're gone, all right? And we'll be back by midnight. So you can head home and have a good time with your family or whatever you're doing after the cruise. But it's on, and we're looking forward to you. And for all the other persons who would like to support the cruise, because supporting the cruise is supporting us here on NETT Radio. All right, you can donate to the cruise. You could buy 2 or 3 tickets and still support us. You know, we need your support to keep the platform up and running. Yeah, Wendell?
Yeah, of course. I want to read some of these comments I'm seeing on the chat here. I'll read a few, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Because as I say, we
want to join us in a little bit too. So
yeah, we always appreciate comments, especially when they are respectful, even if they don't agree with us or don't agree with one another. We have no problem with it as long as they say they remain respectful and not, you know what I mean, right? As long as they remain respectful, I'll leave it right here. So Sadia Andrews says one of the subject today seems to be around gay and straight. Nature speaks clearly. 2 males cannot populate the earth. 2 females cannot populate the earth. Melchizedek says, remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. To this day, we still use the word sodomy Bible facts. So the Bible did document the issue. Carlisle Cupid says, many people don't appreciate that billions of humans don't subscribe to the same religious beliefs that they do. The world is so diverse, but they have tunnel vision and can't recognize it. So Sadia responds, those who chose to go against God's instructions will pay the price. The woman was created for the man, likewise the man for the woman. Anything outside of this is against God and his creation. Melchizedek says, to me, to escape and moral and religious beliefs is to become an unbeliever and chart my destiny. So those are just some of the comments. Robert Allen also pointed out, Wendell, the governor of Florida, name is Ron DeSantis, and we have a same Ron DeSantis on this chat. I suspect he just using our name. I don't know that is his actual name. You know, Carlisle Cupid ends with maybe and this destined to go to hell, wherever that fictional destination exists. I've had a great life experience, and Peter would welcome me just because of my individual honesty. I love that comment. Oh Lord, listen. If we ever meet somebody, we will have to meet somebody who left this earthly realm and went to either heaven and hell, or maybe we need to meet 2 people, one who went to heaven and one who went to hell, to tell us exactly what it's like, so that we can decide, hey, that is where we want to go, right? But there's no person so far who ever come back and say, boy, hell is
sure, right. Nobody knows
heaven
it.
is, it's great. There's nobody on planet Earth.
Yeah, and that is one of the reasons why I think people should be tolerant and respect people's views on different things, because nobody knows. Nobody has tried it. Nobody know where they think going. Nobody know where they think start, and so only be tolerant to each other now. All right,
and it's so easy, and to be respectful of one another.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's so easy, but we have some people determined on this chat to just provoke. They provoke my spirit. I tell you, I have a low fuse these days.
I feel as you did.
My fuse low, but you see that person, whoever Sean Soka feels, he is a special individual. I don't really want to say what he is on the radio, but he's special. And that's why I try to ignore that person now. You understand? Because he clearly has an agenda to provoke and disrespect people.
Any people? All right, so it's now 20 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Yeah, and of course we have Doug Miles joining us in between here. Doug, how are you doing?
Good morning to you guys. I was just listening into the last set of comments that you made a while ago, and I can testify. I have been to heaven and I have been to hell. Hell is.
Which one we should look forward to, Duke?
Now, hell is having 2 days before your dissertation submission, the final submission, and you're still waiting feedback from your dissertation supervisor. That's hell. And heaven is that moment just as your children are born and you witness all of that. Anybody want to argue with me? I will enter debate.
Oh Lord, all right. Well, we'll have to take your word for it, though, because we can't ask you to prove it.
Well, I listen. I could bring other people who would have gone through the same experiences. They might say the same thing. More than likely, they would say the same thing.
Anyway.
Anyhow, Dirk, we're not here to talk that. We're here to talk all different kinds of things in protecting your vehicle. So what are we talking about today?
Well, today I want to talk about some revelations that I made recently because I'm still in shock. I put out a video last week about the Hyundai Tucsons and the Ioniqs because we were looking at a trend that we were seeing between the vehicles that were being stolen and not recovered and the ones that end up on social media. Every time you see a car get stolen on social media now, it's because the owner knows they have no GPS, the police can't find it, so they seek any public help. So when you start to see these vehicles popping up, many people don't look at those things. They say, oh my God, somebody else lost their vehicle. But what I look at the trends. I look at what type of vehicle, where it was taken, how it was taken, where it was found, if it was found, things like that. So we could sort of build some sort of we do a trend analysis. And then popping up was the Hyundai vehicles. Last week we saw two Tucsons, actually not last week, week before was two Tucsons, a Elantra, an Accent, and of course the Ioniq that we recovered. All of them, same thing. Somebody jumped into the vehicle and just drove off with it like if they have a key. So I put up the video, warning people, hey, this is what's going on because we're not hearing anything coming from the TTPS. And shortly after that, somebody reached out to me. This guy, I don't want to call his name or his occupation, but he's well into vehicle security, a different aspect of it. And he mentioned to me, he said, listen, they have some schools in Trinidad and Tobago that are actually teaching people how to program keys, and they do that without background checks on the students. The company themselves, kind of questionable in their practices, but there's no ethics behind it. Now, I don't believe people when they tell me something random. Like I like to go and check on things. So I started calling around because he mentioned a couple of the schools, and lo and behold, the man was correct. Anybody could sign up to one of these schools to do the courses, and those courses will teach you what equipment you need, how to reprogram a key, how to bypass the factory immobilizer system. Now, keep in mind, these schools are going to say that they're doing it and they're going to be promoting the best use practices, or ethical use practices. So you would hear them say things like, this is really for people who are like locksmiths and all these different things. But when you just randomly have anybody come and do these courses, you are basically teaching or have the potential to teach people who are not going to use them for ethical means. And based on what we are seeing here right now, in terms of people just showing up, pressing a button, unlocking your car and jumping inside, or breaking your glass, jumping in your car and moving away with your push button start like if they had a key, all of these things are suggesting that we have a higher, well-trained, different type of car thief that is existing today.
I also saw an article recently, Dirk, you may have seen it, where an MG was stolen. And that's the first time I've seen that type of car being taken. And we have several models of the MGs here. Is that a concern also too?
Well, I will say that we do some extensive work with Massey Motors, who are the dealer for the MGs. And we have been with Massey for 12 years now, providing GPS to customers from them. So the MG line, right, is one of the lines that we do secure. And that is why you don't see a lot of these MGs being advertised as stolen, because as I mentioned a while ago, if a car is recovered, nobody going to post up on social media. But in this particular case, this particular customer may have decided not to take service that was probably mentioned to him. I don't know who the agent was, if they did mention anything to him at all. And his vehicle obviously was stolen, so it made news. But I'm saying this because I have recovered a number of MGs. Carnival was the one that, if you go on our social media around Carnival time, foreigner would have rented out one. And when he came back, where he parked the car wasn't there, and he was able to show them, listen, I still have the key. So they found a way to get around the MG immobilizer system way back when. And we have had other MGs afterwards from private customers whose vehicles we have also recovered. So the MGs have been on the target list for some time, though not popular, but they have been taken. And we see as well these instances where they will steal them from you at gunpoint, robbery. And if you don't have GPS, you're really and truly at the mercies of the police service and their network of finding stolen vehicles.
Yeah. Well, let me ask a question. As you raise that issue of police service, the police, the TTPS and the government by extension, has recently announced that they will be instituting 30 police posts at different locations throughout the country. Do you think that this may also assist in lessening, decreasing the amount of cars being stolen because of these checkpoints now because I view them as checkpoints that we will have at different parts of the country?
Realistically, based on what is being shared in terms of what the tactics are going to be so far, because I don't know what their internal tactics are going to be, I would say no, because if you put on a police post and you have 6 or 8 people sitting on inside the police post, stolen vehicles could drive past and you would not even notice them. So really and truly is more of a response element I expect is going to increase. So it's not going to really deter vehicle theft. What I think it's going to do, if all of those things are properly manned and they have a responsive SOP, I can see that the time to recover stolen vehicles in different areas are going to, in the initial stages, like more like in the first couple of months, I think that time is going to reduce. However, as car thieves themselves see what the operations are like, and then they start to look at the operational tempo of the police officers and soldiers, so Defense Force personnel, they're going to work around it. They're going to move at different times, they're going to change their tactics, and then the effectiveness of those police posts as it relates to motor vehicle larceny and robbery of a motor vehicle is going to become less and less effective against those particular offenses. That is just the natural progression of things.
Yeah. Well, you being a little generous with 6 officers in a police post, I don't see that happening because those police posts are not very big. I actually saw the one at Eddie Hart last night, and it's not very big. I can't see 6 officers operating in a space like that. I just don't see it.
Well, again, we don't know what the tactics are going to be. The police post is just a building. And the building, depending on what communication infrastructure they put inside there, what protection infrastructure, logistics for the officers, because you remember I spoke about this before. These officers are not robots, they're human beings. And if it is we are running their blood thin, they're going to become less and less effective as the more tired that they get, more exhausted that they become. So there has to be some management, and I want to believe the Commissioner of Police would have put those things into place when he recommended this particular intervention. So we have to kind of wait and see as the public, because we are not police officers, most of us, and see how it turns out, and basically rally behind the crime prevention measures. Let's hope it works and see what we could do as a private citizen to make sure it works. I would want to encourage everybody, don't jump into the political fray. If you're not a politician, stay out of that. Our concern as citizens is really and truly to contribute to the information and evidence we could provide to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to make their job more effective.
Yeah. There's a question on the chat here, Dirk. If you take a long-term plan and you change your vehicle during the period, whether the plan transfers onto that new vehicle?
It does. So, and this customer is probably asking because we are currently advertising the 10-year plan, and many people don't understand what 10-year means, because the 10-year plan for us is where we just making sure that our customers don't have any renewal to pay for 10 years. Now, if our renewal fee is $450 per year, and we are saying, well, listen, let's do this for 10 years up front, we're basically going to reduce that. Now, the customer, when they get a vehicle, and these are really for customers who plan to have a vehicle going forward, I'm saying this because there are some people who a vehicle is not important to them, but I'm saying for people who a vehicle is important for their daily life and they plan to have one going forward. You buy a car today, let's just say you buy a used car and you take the 10-year plan. Your car is going to be covered for 10 years. 3 years down the road, you say, you know what, it's time to get rid of this one and buy a new one. Then you come into us, we remove the device, and then when you bring the new vehicle, we reinstall the device and your time continues. So it's easily transferable. That is one of the things that we do offer with these plans. It is not that we are asking you to put GPS in this one car for 10 years. It doesn't work that way. And we are very flexible as well, because, for example, if you're selling the car to someone, you tell them, I have a GPS on it, and the person says, well, hey, I would like to keep the GPS, then you could have your remaining time transferred onto a new GPS and have the person who purchasing the vehicle come and take out their own package, without having to take the GPS out and put in a new one, because that's possible as well. So
go over what you just said there. Go over what you just said.
So let me give you the scenario. Dirk Barnes buys a vehicle and he buys a 10-year plan. We're going down the road 2 years from now. Dirk Barnes is selling the car to Wendell. Wendell says, well, hey, I want to keep this GPS too, but I already paid for 10 years. So what basically happens is that Dirk and Wendell goes to the company and they tells the company, hey, Dirk Barnes, I want to take out a new service. So I want to buy a new device for my new vehicle, but I want to keep the time left on that. We will do that. So the time that I paid for, what is left, the 7 years that is left, now goes on to the vehicle that I am purchasing. Wendell goes in, he already has a device installed, but it has no time on it because Dirk Barnes took it with him, but the device is installed. He can then decide, look at the different packages that are available at that point in time, and then put the time on, or pay for one of those packages and put the time on his package. So it makes it a bit easier and faster. So you don't have a person having to remove a device and put it on the next vehicle. This other person has to come and put a new device in that vehicle, because the devices are the same. They do the same thing, so you don't have to really take out one to put out that. It doesn't reduce in reliability. In fact, one of the things that we do when people are doing transfers like that is that we check the device and update the firmware or something during that transaction.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Dirk, I just wanted to ask a question because we're talking vulnerabilities in some vehicles and models. I'm wondering what exactly makes one vehicle more vulnerable to theft than another. Is it the vehicle's design? Is it the electronic security system? Or is it the way that the key and communication system work? What is this actually?
It comes down to time, learning, and technology. That's what it really comes down to. And let me explain. A vehicle that was created back in 2018, let's use the Hyundai Ioniq. When that came out and the push button start and it was hybrid and all these different things, that technology, nobody knew how to get around that technology at that point in time. It was new. The manufacturers looked at what was happening previously, what was available previously. They said, listen, the only way to start this thing is with a coded key. This key could only be programmed by our equipment, and this is how they were going forward. But as they came out with newer and newer models, people would have looked at, you can't always be going to change a key by the dealer. So other manufacturers would have come out with systems that allow mechanics and locksmiths to reprogram keys for customers instead of going back to the manufacturer. That is one of the vulnerabilities that exists today. It's just that time and evolution of technology, new things come out. Now you have vehicles that are coming out, like these new BYDs and the DePals and these EVs. These things are built where they connect to the manufacturer for different updates and things like that. Now there's an understanding that these vehicles are going to be protected from the point of being stolen, because the keys could be deprogrammed remotely. The vehicles have a unique identifier, all these different things, and it's handled from the manufacturer. But then, people are working off of a technology, or that talk is off of a technology that's about 5 or 6 years ago. There's already talk where there are instances where people can hijack the signals coming, well, not the signals, but the communication from these particular vehicles, and they could send it to their own servers that will mimic that of the manufacturers, and they could program cars and do all these different things. That is how the next evolution of car thief is going to start to move, and that information is already floating around. I've never used the dark web, but in different forums that I'm in and stuff like that, when talking about vehicle security, people are mentioning that these things are already on the dark web. So I'm just repeating what I have read, but it is not impossible for something like that to happen. So so this is what so my answer would be, once you have time and people can learn and the technology evolves, car thieves or anybody who wants to do non-ethical behavior towards vehicle security are going to have the different tools and expertise to be able to bypass these systems. And once you bypass the immobilizer system or the tracking system, that car is basically yours if it is you want to take it.
Wow. This is something else. But if I have a vehicle or that is known, to be a vulnerable vehicle, people will want to seize this kind of vehicle. What are some of the things I should really be doing to?
I would say think old school. Start old school first. I would always endorse people buying these club locks or the steering locks. Buy one of those things for your car, it's like $200-$300, and put it on your car when you pack it up. Whenever you can, whenever you remember, whenever it's convenient, but do it as often as possible. A car thief that comes and realizes he has to put effort, he walk in there with a laptop or a tablet, and when you reach there, you realize you have to have a hacksaw. He leave in your vehicle and looking for one that doesn't have it. And those things are not expensive, like $200 or something like that. In fact, up to recently, we were running a special here. We were giving them away for free. I was
about to ask you that. I was not about to say, I hope you would have been given or doing like a discounted price of the club lock when you're installing your devices.
No, well, I don't import those things. I mean, I wouldn't really use the very limited US dollars I have for something like that. But what I did, I bought a whole bunch from a local wholesaler, and I just gave them out for free as people came and said, here's a club lock, to try to promote the fact that these things still work. Now, beyond that, I hear people talking about installing an alarm. An alarm will basically give you an audible, some sound if it is somebody entered your vehicle and it wasn't you, especially in the older vehicles. But keep in mind the amount, and I normally tell customers this when they consider an alarm. Have you ever heard an alarm go off while you're in the mall car park or in a pharmacy or something like that? And they'll say, well, yeah. Okay, did you ever call the police? And that's the thing. The alarm, people hear it and they just ignore it. It's come like a normal thing every day. So even though some people might want to install an alarm, that's fine. Then I hear this new talk, people coming back with kill switches. On a new vehicle, you're not going to install a kill switch. I dare, in fact, I'm not say that. I will encourage people, do not allow anybody to install a kill switch or immobilizer in some of these newer vehicles. And I say newer vehicles, any vehicles that are running body control module, transmission control module, engine control module, the ECM, all these computers, don't do it. Because these computers are communicating with each other and sending different codes to each other all the time. We're talking about hundreds or thousands of messages moving per second. You come and you interrupt that. All of a sudden, one module is not seeing a couple other modules because you interrupted something in that immobilizing event. And when that happens, you start to throw engine codes. And I've seen people talking about, they want an immobilizer. That's a technology that was when people were running carbureted vehicles and when fuel injected now come out. Now that we're running these high efficient vehicles, those things are not something that you should install. Now, as we go into our next part of technology, GPS, and I also want to use radio frequency location devices. I wouldn't call the name of the company, but it's a company that searches for vehicles. These things have been used effectively. Now, you have different layers of GPS because you could have the ones that you self-install, and self-install means that you hired somebody else to install it on your behalf as well if you bought it from Amazon or something like that. You have technician install, have some technicians who are selling GPS and they're installing it. You have provider installations, and provider installations, you have different types of providers. You have providers that only install and let you monitor, and then you have some that install and monitor, and then they have companies like us or company like us, because I don't know many other companies so approved that does installations, monitoring, and the recovery. So we are the higher end of the whole thing. And the prices are going to vary based on what it is those companies offer. When you see cheap GPS, it's cheap services. When you see affordable value added, those are the things that you have to start to look at. And you have to be mindful as a consumer that people are advertising outside there and advertising they could do certain things and then they can't. Yesterday, I was explaining publicly as well that you have, we see this happening often by us, where customers who show up in our Facebook page, and then when I go back and I check it, they would have asked us, I'll use an example. 2023, customer came up in our Facebook and asked, what is the cost of the GPS? We gave them all the information, all that kind of stuff. We never heard from the person again. 2026, last month, customer calls us 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, asking if it is that we could help them recover our vehicle. Well, they called me. I was like, but are you a customer base about tactical? No, did not. And I was like, well, okay, well, we wouldn't really be able to help you if you're not a customer. And that prompted me. It's like, why would you be calling us? I went online and I searched the customer's number, and I saw them pop up in a message. And I realized, oh, so they knew about us, went by somebody else to get a GPS. That person not answering their phone. And then when they realized they're not getting through, decided to call us to see if we could assist. And I was like, but you knew what we offered. Well, then you should have bought what we offered. But you went by somebody else, and we now realizing that what we have been saying all the time, these companies are falsely advertising some of the cheapest prices you could find outside there. And then when something really happens, you realizing that you can't get support from them. I'll close with this, till the next question. But I saw a company recently advertising, and this is so weird. They advertise a sale, $2,000 for a 5-year. And then they put on it, you're getting $1,000 off or $19.99 off because their price is $29.99. Sounds good, right? That came out on the 27th of July. 4 days or 5 days later, they put out another sale. Same thing, same 5-year plan, different graphics this time, same company, same 5-year plan that they're now doing for $9.99, and the original price is $14.99. Now, when you start to see practices like that, it's because they're desperate. But the thing about it is that your customers would see those things and not ask the question, well, where really and truly is the value? Now, when we look at it as well, and I do social media surveillance, so I look at the competition and I ask the question, what is the value? And you have to look at the comment section, and everybody's saying good customer service, good customer service, good customer service. But then what happens after the customer service? After you take the device and you leave, what happens? When you go on air support tactical, you get good customer service, but you also see fast response, great job, they got back my car. These are the things you have to start to look at in terms of the value. And these are the things that customers don't think about when they're shopping around. They're looking at price, but price will not always get your car back.
That is so true. And a lot of these people who are doing stuff and things know what people would most likely go behind. So they will get people to put up things that are not even real and put it out there as marketing, testimonials and that sort of thing. So we already have to be very careful with it.
There's another question here on the chat that's worth asking. Says, what are the recovery and conviction statistics for stolen cars in Trinidad and Tobago? I guess concerning car theft naturally, and stolen car parts dealers. Now, is it that when you all recover a stolen car and you actually detain the person, like you may have intercepted the car and detained the person, how, in terms of this question, how many times you think you'll have to? I would imagine you all also have to appear in court to deal with this issue.
Well,
how prevalent is that?
Well, funny enough, we have not had to go to court as of yet, and I'll explain why. In the space of time I've been doing this, I have with our company, we have arrested nine offenders. 2 of those 9 offenders were actually convicted, did their time and stuff like that. The other set of cases, if I'm not mistaken, 2 were never charged, and the remainder are before the courts right now. We know those things is going for a while. We have recovered several firearms in some of these things as well. I can't remember the number right now. So, and that is with close to 800 recoveries. On the most of the times when we go out on recoveries, we find the vehicle not in motion, and it's not by design. And please, let's not have that conversation about sting operation. I'm not going there to wait for nobody out with my customer car. But what happens is that we get outside there, the car is just in a cool down state. Our job is to take the car back to the client as quickly as possible, and we don't find anybody there. There's some unique instances, those car thieves, and I don't believe that those were really career car thieves. These were guys who took an opportunity to rob, or it was a home invasion, things like that, and we found them with the car. And in those cases, those people were arrested. Now, I don't follow up with the police on what is they doing afterwards, but normally the police service would take lead because they would have been there when we would have detained, and usually would detain, but I have to say usually would arrested, but then they would normally come and take over from there, because our job, once we make an arrest, is they take the person to the nearest police station with the shortest possible route in the shortest amount of time. That's law. But because this type of operation requires the TTPS to come and take possession of the vehicle for chain of custody, they normally just take over from there and they take the offenders. So that's how come we have never ended up in court giving evidence and stuff like that. But we do the training for our people to be able to do that. And the police do provide a lot of guidance to any supplemental police agency who have to put offenders before the courts on charges.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's up to the TTPS to decide if to charge or when to charge or what is the charge.
And the circumstances, because if for example, certain actions were taken at a point in time that may have required the use of force or anything like that, I'm almost sure that we're going to have members of our company going to court to deal with when the offender is charged, to give certain evidence based on the severity of the charges that the offender would have. But in most cases, when we get outside there and we do find offenders, they surrender very quickly, and then we just take them into custody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you have a customer already pledged that they will see you. You will see them this morning. Carl Jack said you will be seeing him this morning. Please go ahead.
And we look forward to seeing you. Remember, guys, this is, to me, this is a business. But you guys know me. I've been with you guys since 2017, 2018 with you on Power 102 and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. And it's not just about going to recover cars, but it's also building different technology. Right now, we are putting together something that, I'll close with this. It is very unique. We had deployed a number of nodes throughout last year into this year. And those nodes could read different tags that we are also creating. Think of it like a big AirTag system. When we activated the nodes to see how everything was working, then we realized we were picking up a bunch of other data from other systems and stuff like that. And what we suspect, and this is what we're testing right now, is that we're picking up signals and IDs from different Bluetooth devices that passes these nodes all over the country. Talking about 800. Now, what we were originally building it to do is to basically install a very cheap device. I'm talking about something that will be like $20, $30 into a vehicle. And we could track that vehicle using this node. It's a new service that we were looking to offer. That is all the infrastructure is already in place. But then we started to get these additional things. Now, imagine the potential for something like that. If it is, we can actually pick up on Bluetooth Mac IDs. Think about it this way. If your child is going to school and your child has a phone or a Bluetooth tag or anything like that, we could create an account for you and you could track your child without having to have a GPS tracking device. Only you alone could see it. What if it is we have a kidnapping and the kidnappers take the person's phone or something like that and they can't track the phone? We could track it via Bluetooth. We could track Bluetooth of a particular car. The potential for this technology is endless, and we created it and stumbled into these things. So, at the end of the day, we have to find ethical use of it. So I don't have it open to the public or anything like that right now as we're trying to figure out how this technology works properly. But it has a lot of potential in terms of law enforcement and public safety. Things like after an earthquake and stuff like that. These nodes are not powered traditionally, so you don't have to, if there's a power outage in an area, these things will continue to work. So it's a fantastic piece of technology, but we are still building on it.
Right. Doug, just before we go, let's tell people how to get in contact with you and especially about the packages that you have available.
All right. Well, it's easy to contact us. You could go on WhatsApp. This number that you'll see on here right now is 1-868-235-5477. Just WhatsApp us, or you could give us a call, but it's easier to talk to us on WhatsApp. And then from there, we will start to put things in place for you to get an installation done. The system that we have right now is $31.50 for a 10-year plan. However, if it is you don't want to pay that $31.50 upfront, you can pay $2,000 upfront and $11.50 in 30 days for the 10-year plan. And with that 10-year plan, if you really think about it, that's $315 a year. You wouldn't get any system that is as affordable as that with the amount of things that we offer in terms of coverage. So it's a lot of things that you get for the service, and it is one of the more popular plans that we put out. We put that out, I think it was Tuesday already. We reached the point where I got a report yesterday that I have to add more inventory to it because it is selling out. I don't know, but I may have to cut that. Even though it was supposed to run until Monday, I might have to shut it down by Friday because we allocate inventory to certain plans, and once they sell out, I'd really add more. I'll have to do it in this particular case because it's only Tuesday and it's already halfway through and that inventory is done. But if it goes till Friday with the same kind of level, I will have to shut it down on Friday.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a testimony to read for you again, Duke. Sanj Duku says, "Good morning. I visited your Valsain branch to do an installation, and I must say your staff are very friendly, and Jessica from the South branch was very helpful, and the information that was shared was incredible. I would definitely recommend anyone to Air Support Tactical."
And to that person, I would want to thank them, and I would definitely make sure that comment goes on Jessica's file. She is one of our supervisors across here, and she's been with us for quite some time. Jessica is pursuing her master's. I like to boast about that. She's a very hardworking and forward-thinking individual.
All right. Well, keep a free club block for Sanj Duku when they come back, right?
Gotta go look for that now. Good. Thank you very much as always.
No problem, man. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, dude. Take care.
Yeah.
Of course, that was Duke Barnes from Air Support Tactical who joins us here every Thursday. And you wouldn't think that we had a problem like car theft in this country, but we do, eh? We do have a serious problem like car theft. And they're targeting anybody, everybody, regardless of what letter you carry behind in it. You could be a victim. Okay?
Regardless of what you...
But Wendell, and if you're religious, you're more protected. You don't need GPS.
Well, you have that. You are covered. You are covered by a blood. So you cool. You good. You stop there and feel religious people actually believe that.
They have weak faith then.
They are
faith
not
can
infallible.
Move mountains.
They are not infallible.
Wendell, faith can move mountains. We were taught that as children.
Yeah. You ever see that? You ever see that?
Unwavering faith. You know?
Mountain with a Lego set, yeah.
Well, I see a pastor try with faith try to part the sea, but he didn't have enough.
So he walked out in the water and the water came rushing in on him. He just, he clearly
he didn't have enough faith. He didn't have enough faith. That was
yeah. Because that water would have parted for him.
Yeah.
One of these days we must do a deep dive. Quiet. Yeah.
I don't know what it is with all. Sometimes when certain things happen, it's like, what this one do here and what that one do here. Like I asked Wendell and Lincoln, what police do here? I'd ask Richard, what religion do you?
But we don't hesitate to give our story.
Let me tell you something. Religion it do mean nothing, but religion did mankind a lot. Trust me. Historically, religion has done mankind a lot.
Yeah. I don't know what God do, Richard.
No, but as Lincoln pointed out this morning, so many people have lost their lives. So many wars are fought in the name of Christianity. But nobody do judge a Christian and say, oh, he's a serial killer or he's a terrorist. But let one Muslim organization do something now. Everybody's terrorist.
Yeah, because you see, within everything, there are people who are masquerading. You understand? So
it's human beings, Charles. They're just cruel. They're evil.
It's human.
Yeah.
But Charles, they don't believe that. They don't believe they're masquerading. They believe that they are true adherents, and that God is guiding them.
Yeah.
And that if you disagree with it, it's because you don't have enough faith and you don't have the sight that God has given them. How you arguing with that, Sir Charles?
Yeah, well,
that's true.
There's always misguided people, Richard, regardless.
You could say they're misguided, but they don't believe they're misguided. They believe that God has chosen them So how do you argue with that?
I don't argue with that. I love them.
And imagine you have a religious person like that who is also a police officer. They are convicted in what they're doing to you, Sir Charles. You can't tell them they're wrong,
No, I mean, I suppose it's the same thing when we look at people who would have done real atrocity. When we look at Jim Jones and them fellas tell us that they were doing the right thing, that they were being guided, they were being instructed, and
yes,
they had to fulfill this whatever it is that was driving them, whatever the dream night.
You laced 900 people with what was the cyanide? What is it?
Cyanide and Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid never recovered, Kool-Aid never recovered after that, Never recovered after that.
Yes.
After that, nobody wanted Kool-Aid.
They tried all kind of other instant drinks after that. All failed.
Yeah, but not Kool-Aid. If you go in a supermarket now, you have to real search to find Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you can't find Kool-Aid. Trust me, the raspberry Kool-Aid was real good. I really love that. I really love that raspberry Kool-Aid, boy. Oh, hey.
I'd have some younger people listen to this program. I have no idea what we're talking about. Look it up. Jim Jones, Guyana.
Jim Jones. And right there in Guyana, not far.
Yep.
And a cult man come down in Guyana and just mash up the place.
Yeah.
It's like when Simona Africa went to
kill a congressman and all that, it was a bacchanal, Remember a congressman came to investigate and they killed him?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And there's people to follow them who really believe that they are the gateway to God.
Yes, Sir Charles. It happens in all religions,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see a man jump up on all the church pews the other day and run across the church pews and run back.
Yes.
So, Sir Charles, are you and Wendell saying that religion? Are you and Wendell saying that religious adherence is a mental illness? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not a mental illness. Mentally, people adhere to religion. That is what has happened. Religious adherence is not a mental issue, but we know for sure mentally ill people go towards religion, gravitate towards religion.
But you could always tell the difference about who's an adherent and who's mentally ill.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
People, it's 2 minutes before 9 o'clock. That's where we are going to leave it this morning.
Yeah. We're not taking no calls in this conversation. No calls.
No. I was something enough with Wendell alone on the message board this morning. Hey,
you moved the wrong person. You realize that?
You see what I mean? Look, oh my God.
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
No, I realize that.
Well, look back, listen back to the chat.
So I have to go back now and unmute that person.
Yeah, you moved the wrong person.
Hey, look.
Just people like they don't listen either properly either. No,
but let's see at least. Well, now we know Sir Charles is not that religious because he would have answered you and say, Wendell, that wrong person was muted, but because God guided me to mute that person. Okay? So it's not a mistake.
It's a mistake. People call us for get your tickets for the Cooler Cruise. We just have a couple of days. We just have a few more tickets. Get all the tickets, right? Remember, you can call us 281-1315. And any one of the presenters, DJs, can get the tickets that are available. Go to Rumbox, go to Crosby's, go to just jump over in here, right? Bobby's Bar in Kirap, right? Those are the places that you can get your tickets right now. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday on the cruise. Remember, we are boarding at 7 p.m. We're sailing at 8 on the Island Royalty, right? Bring your coolers. And if you don't want to, you don't have a cooler, no big thing. They have a bar, they have a food area on the boat. So you're good to go. All right? So, yeah, Saturday we're there.
All right. And of course, you can continue to listen to netradiott.com on the internet, and you can listen to the excellent programming throughout the day. If you're on a smart device and you want to listen on a smart device, you say play NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn, and you're good to go. Listen to my words again. Play NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn, and you will be enjoying excellent programming throughout the day, every single day.
All right. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
Yep. Enjoy your midweek. No, what midweek? Oh my God. The weekend begins tonight, people. At a second after midnight. Today is Thursday. So have a fantastic Thursday. The weekend begins tonight. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. We know you have a choice in what you give your time to watch and listen and receive information. And we're so glad you chose us, because we all know you have impeccable taste. So, of course, we'll speak to you bright and early tomorrow morning, which will be Friday. I know we love a Friday on The Breakfast Show. Have a great day, people. You have been listening and watching The
Breakfast Show.
Get up.
Yes.
It's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, wake. Get up, get up. It's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start